much. Ms. Pingree.
I'm sure there's still more pie out there, Mr. Chair.
I want you to know that Mr. Ruppersberger is on a scouting expedition. Well, speak of the devil. What have you brought back for the team appropriations? Okay, moving right along. Ms. Pingree's recognized.
It's a tough mission out there. I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will read.
Amendment offered by
The
Ms.
reading,
Pingree.
please.
The gentlewoman from Maine is recognized for 3 minutes.
Okay, well, I can be brief at this hour because I think everybody knows about the housing vouchers, and this is an amendment to increase the housing voucher funds by $1.2 billion. As most of us know, this is the largest rental assistance program in the country. It has an enormous impact on the lives of low-income families. Of the 5 million people assisted by this program, 36% are adults with children, 23% are elderly, and 20% are disabled adults. This is a program that has consistent positive outcomes in so many ways. Families that receive vouchers experience less domestic violence, for instance, and less food insecurity. If we maintain the House bill at the funding level, the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities estimates that 140,000 vouchers that individuals and families are currently using would not receive renewal funding next year. That number includes about 740 vouchers in my home state of Maine. We already don't have enough vouchers to go around in our state, so we cannot afford to reduce that number. It's unacceptable. We should not be rescinding assistance provided to families who need it most. I want to emphasize that my amendment isn't about expanding the program or providing new vouchers. It's simply about letting the families keep the vouchers they already have. I hope you'll join me in supporting this amendment, and I yield back.
Thank you, Ms. Pingree. Mr. Diaz-Balart.
Mr. Chairman, obviously I appreciate her support for this program. A lot of us support this program. This bill provides $18.7 billion for voucher renewals. That's $355 million above FY17 and $1.1 billion above the request. In addition, the budget increases funding for Section 811 non-elderly disabled vouchers, which will serve thousands of additional households within this especially vulnerable population. So, again, it's an issue I know she cares about, we care about, but at this stage we cannot support the amendment because it would cause this bill to exceed our allocation. You know what that happens if we do that, so therefore I would ask for a no vote at this time.
Thanks, gentlemen. Mr. Price is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in support of Ms. Pingree's amendment. This is about the tenant-based rental assistance. Again, program we're very familiar with. We know how much people depend on it in our communities. We know how long the waiting lists are and how we struggle to keep people in this housing and to make it available to those who need it. There are some pretty ominous estimates, despite our efforts in this bill to provide for those who have this assistance. The National Low-Income Housing Coalition and the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, they estimate that about 140,000 housing vouchers that people are currently using would be lost under the current level of funding in the bill before us. That would have a terrible impact on low-income families, put them at immediate risk of eviction or even homelessness. So we really have to support the people who depend on this assistance, and Ms. Pingree's amendment would allow us to do that. I urge its adoption.
Thanks to the gentleman for his comments. Ms. Pingree, a minute to close.
Again, this is not to enhance the program, as you heard the ranking member say and I mentioned earlier. This is people who currently receive vouchers who will lose them. With the shortage of affordable housing in so many of our communities and states across the country, we can't afford to have this reduced funding level, and I urge my colleagues to support the amendment.
The question is on the Pingree amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it. The amendment is not agreed to. Further amendments.